Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 131 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and we've got a great show today. We're going to have two homes. The first one will be on La Strada, probably a home you haven't, or a street you haven't heard of unless you're familiar with Northwest Highway. And then we're also going to have a condo that looks like a townhome over on Holland, which is a really great area. And in the second half, we've got a lot of great information. We do.
In our second half, we're going to talk about the 4 things that homeowners need to do in the month of May.
It is going to be a good honey to-do list, so you don't want to miss it, or maybe you do, or maybe you just don't want everybody else to watch it. So it's been a very busy time last week. I feel like every time we get on here, we're talking about how busy it is, but it really has been.
It really has been. It's been hectic, I would say. The last couple of weeks have been. Lots of people getting to the closing table right now, which is fantastic for them. People are getting just incredibly great interest rates on their loans right now, and there's still lots of really good property in the market. You know, we were looking at inventory this morning, and there are homes in every price point that are coming on. There are homes in every neighborhood that seem to be coming on. So I think, inventory is beginning to grow a bit.
We've got 3 that'll come on probably within the next 3 to 10 days. We'll be bringing them on, and they range from everything from a condo over near Capitol to a really large home out north towards Fairview. So lots of things going on. It was interesting this weekend. I actually took one of our good friends out and showed her homes on Sunday, and we actually were able to find a new home construction. It was a really interesting product. I felt like it was Grenadier Builders, and I felt like they actually had done a lot of thinking about the way that they situated the floor plan, and were really thinking about what the end buyer was going to want. I wish that product was here. I really thought that it was interesting. They had 2 different products. They had one that was 1 to 3 bedroom single-story garden homes, and then they had 2-story townhomes that were 2 and 3 bedroom. It was really interesting too, and it was they only had two townhomes left, and so we toured everything, called back, found out what it was required to actually secure this house so that we could write an offer on it. And it was interesting. We came back on Sunday to write the contract, and they said, "Good thing you're here. Tomorrow everything goes up $10,000." And I thought, golly, I've heard of 5,000, but on like a 3,800 square foot home, but 10,000 on an 1,150 square foot townhome, I thought was a lot.
It's really just reflecting a lot of the cost, the cost that the builders are experiencing right now. I mean, the price of wood is tripled in the last 6 months.
Yep.
So it's real. I mean, even our contractor friends are talking about, what was it Dale was saying the other day, where he said, I used to be able to pay $10 for a sheet of plywood, and now they're $38, and it's just crazy.
Well, Susan and Juan are building, and we took and looked at their design center selects. With COVID having things so still locked down, not everyone. Let me rephrase that. Only 2 people can go to the design center, and they have to be the people that are actually on the contract. No kids, no spouses, no realtors, and so it was interesting because she sends over the design price point of everything they've chosen, and she's like, "We're not even done, and we're at 41,000." And I thought, "You're at 41,000 already?"
Yeah.
And so just going through it, I saw some of the things that we were able to help them eliminate and kind of like regroup, and you and I really kind of helped them see that some of these elements aren't that big of a deal, and you are going to be able to change them later for a lot less. So it's just one of those elements that we were able to put together a plan to help them come within budget. I think they're both really happy. Her funny text back to me was, "Is there a house left?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yes,
Yes,
and
there's our house.
and in your savings account too." So that's what we like to do: make sure our clients get the best that they can. So let's talk about homes.
Okay. You want to jump right into the
for
first
it.
one? Okay. The first one that we're going to talk about today is 3926 Holland, and this is in the Oak Lawn area. It is a great little community of 8 units that's called Urban Villas. These were built in 2006. They are all 3-story townhomes. First story being garage and the bedroom, and then you get up into the living area and the master bedroom and all that above that. But from a location perspective,
Right.
you've got such great flexibility here. You are right in the heart of Oak Lawn. You're right in the heart of what many people consider to be one of the best areas of Oak Lawn, which is between Lemon Avenue, butting up against Highland Park.
Yep.
And it's just an incredible neighborhood to get out, walk around. You've got access to so many restaurants right through there. You've got a couple of really good grocery stores that are within driving distance. You actually have Whole Foods, which is within walking distance.
Tom Thumb too, that's just around the corner by Javier's. No, not Javier's. We'll get back to that.
But a really great location. We have customers, clients that live in these neighborhoods that they chose this neighborhood because they can jog in it so easily and safely. And it's, access to all of the freeways is really good. You get great access to Love Field. Katy Trail is within riding distance, walking distance even. It's just, I love this part of town.
It's a great commuting neighborhood. If you're Monday through Friday to get to work, whether it's downtown or you're headed north, you have both the toll road and 75. So depending on what Waze or Apple Maps tells you to go, you can get there quite easily. And as Jeff said, the Love Field is just almost at the end of the street. And if you're a resident or here for Parkland, it's probably right now about a 7 to 10 minute drive. If it's early in the morning, it could be even as less as 5. So really great neighborhood. One of the things about this neighborhood this complex is that it's also gated. And being in the uptown area, we all know that parking is a premium. One of the great things about this one is that you do have a 2-car parking garage, which is, one of the very, very, very rares that you get to find here. And you can see they've done a really great job with the landscaping. It's a very contemporary, but not harsh floor plan or exterior that you see. Here you can see the gates and how the gate ironwork actually is reflected also on the balustrades. So you have a continuity that flows back and forth, and it also shows up in the color palette between both those bricks and the actual cement siding that they have here.
And they've done a really good job with the way this is organized. So you have one central driveway that everyone uses to drive in. The front doors are all exactly the same with the glass in them. So you get some natural light flowing into the entryway downstairs. And in that first floor, there is a really good sized bedroom and with the double doors that open up out to a small patio there. And I think these rooms are 15 by 15, I believe, but big enough for a king size bed there. You've got the ensuite bath, shaving height countertop, and a big step-in shower and tub combination.
And one of the things quite often that we see when these bedrooms are on the very first floor is that they feel dark, but because of that double front door and you can see the reflection there in the mirror, there's a lot of light down here, so it doesn't feel like you're cramped or anything. One of the things I wanted to point out is that this is a really large backyard space. I didn't realize it was so large. You also have access through the garage to this.
And as you come up to the second floor, you've got this really immense living room, and it's all organized with the very open floor plan where it flows back and forth between the kitchen, dining area, living room. And we were commenting how big the dining area is there. You could almost do either a small, like 48-inch round table toward one end of it, and then have another little office area, sitting area, reading area, whatever you want. But it's huge space.
It was, and I wasn't expecting that. And I think the other thing that helped exaggerate how large this open floor plan is that the ceiling height. We're probably 11 to 12 feet on this ceiling height. and the amount of windows. So you can see how we call them top bottom blinds, and so you can get light from the top and the bottom and still have privacy through most of the window. As you can see, that kitchen is a really great, almost corner kitchen, as you'd call it. Again, because of the color palettes that they've chosen, you get a light, bright feel to it, and it doesn't have that harsh, stark feel, as it doesn't quite fit with this. As you look in that picture, you have also a little seating area, as Jeff was mentioning, that's really great. And they put 2 little chairs here, which add just an extra space. So depending on what you want for, this is a great way to wake up in the morning and have your coffee. As you can see, you've got also a deck off of this area, so grilling is easy, and it just makes life and light a lot easier in this unit.
And this is the powder room that's right there on that floor, that's kind of tucked away and hidden, so perfect location. I love the bar setup on this, and they did a really great job with this diamond type tile backing that gives it a little bit of elegance, a little bit of flair, but doesn't overpower that area.
And so when we come upstairs, you've got a really large master bedroom, and the heights up here don't disappoint as well. So we're probably 10 to 9 feet on these large bathroom again, and the height on those countertops was really great. So as you see here, separate tub, separate shower, both really large and spacious. And I can't say enough about how great the light was in here. As you come into the closet, you can see here they've got tons of space as well, which is really helpful. And we're going to see that you also have the utility upstairs. So that is a quick way for everything to be on the exact same page.
It really is. And the rooms have a lot of flexibility in how you can arrange them, because they don't have windows on that one or on 2 of those walls. So you could really put your bed in either direction. The laundry room is up here as well. It's a great location for that, because it's where most of your laundry is going to be generated. And then you've got the second room up on the 3rd floor. And this is a smaller room, but it would work out great if you want to have a separate office, or if, like in their case, where they're using it as a nursery, it's the perfect size for that.
And most of these townhomes that we highlight don't have 3 full and a half bath, and this is one of those special ones that does. So this is 3926 Holland Avenue, number 102, 3 bedroom, 3 full and 1 half, 2-car garage, built in 2005, and that is just over 2,400 square feet for $605. This is a great unit. We'd like to say thank you so much to Randy Cadell for allowing us to highlight your home.
Those are great. That's a really great home.
If you look in the comments below as we're going through this, you'll see that there's a direct link to this home. If you click on it, you'll get a little more information about it and see the pictures at your own pace. If this is something that you would like to see, please let us know. We would love to make that happen. If there's something else in the area, we also can look that up as well. Jeff?
Where are we going next?
Let's head over to 9106 La Strada Court. La Strada Court is a really unique side street. When I first moved to Dallas, I was in a neighborhood just adjacent to this. This is off of Northwest Highway. And this is off of the Northwest Highway that is to the west of Midway. And so this is a really great area. There are lots of gated neighborhoods throughout this strip, and we've seen even towards the end, almost at Marsh, where they've even had brand new construction. So there's a lot of interest in this area. It is a great, quiet neighborhood in this area.
It really is, and you've got access to a lot of really great shopping there. There's a Target that's within about a mile. There's also that Central Market that's right there at Midway and Northwest Highway that you literally could walk over to. And the neighborhood itself backs up to a really great $1 million plus neighborhood. So you've got a lot of financial insulation there, that your neighborhood is, you're not going to have things torn down and apartment complexes built next door.
Nope.
And this neighborhood was built 2006, I believe. It is 11 homes, and they are all in this same Mediterranean villa style.
Yes.
And if, this is it's a really great style, and if it seems to really blend in well because you've got the entire neighborhood of it.
Yeah, and as you see when we start taking a look at these pictures, one of the things that the neighborhood has done so well is there is a continuity. You're not going to be able to see the rest of the homes, but the tile roof is on each one of the homes. Some of the neighborhoods didn't quite hit the nail on the head by allowing a lot of different styles. This neighborhood has done a great job of this continuity. So we see here you've got the wood garage doors, the Spanish style. You have a small gated courtyard right here that is flanked with the large wood door, and it just has a really nice curb appeal, basically, with the way that you walk up to the flagstone. And you can see here they also have a fountain as well.
Sometimes in these this style of house, they kind of they can tend to stand out and be very stark. But these owners have done a lot of landscaping that really softens the edges on it to me, and really just kind of makes it feel more homey. Where a lot of times this style just it can feel very stark, is the only word I can come up with.
Yeah, and as you come into the home, one of the great things is the entry is really large, and it flows perfectly into this large living room. And the living room itself is opened up to a kitchen, and as you can see, it's pretty well spaced out. We're going to see sub-zero refrig. You've got a really great and clearly defined kitchen island right here, one that also acts as a bar and one that's also on the inside. One of the things that Jeff and I really liked was the amount of countertop space and the number of cabinets that we saw here. One of the things is that these cabinets are really a high quality, and they continue these into the butler pantry, which is available. You can kind of see through the on the right-hand side of this image.
And this flows into the dining room, which they use these glass brick block on the one side to obscure the view, because there is a home on that side of the property, but it still allows a lot of light into there. You can tell that the owners have really taken a lot of care in choosing light fixtures and all of the extra little things that go along with keeping this home in the style.
Now, not to be disappointed is this amazing office. The office has a lot of really rich, warm tones, both with the built-ins and also around the casement, around the windows, and then also in the detailing in the ceiling. When we go and downstairs as well, we have this really large master bedroom that looks over onto the courtyard and opens up to an amazing spa-like bathroom. One of the things that I thought was very interesting is the way that the ceiling detailing has a barreled roof, and then you have a his and her side, to the point where you have a his and her toilet and a his and her closet as well.
And the cabinetry is done very nicely in this. It's a real quality solid wood, granite countertops, undermount sinks. They've got the big walk-in shower stall, and it's finished very nicely.
Yep, and as we go upstairs, there is the living room that they have. And one of the great things about this living room is that there's a lot of light. And as you can see, when I say a lot of light, this is the entry from the second floor looking over the catwalk, and those lights, kind of like the Mission windows.
It's the Avita balcony.
It is a wonderful, that's a great way to put it. Rounding the corner, you come into this really large living room on the second floor, and they've done a really good job of finishing out with built-ins. There are 2 additional bedrooms upstairs that share a Jack and Jill, pretty much equal size. And again, I believe these are also close to 14 or 12 by 13. So they're really good-sized homes for furniture or for guests.
And this is a couple of pictures of that bath that is shared between the two. And again, you've got tile countertops on this one. You've got the solid wood cabinetry. This one, I believe, has the shower. Is this the bath or a shower? I think this may be the bathtub. This is the secondary bedroom that is, again, similar size to the first one, and lots of light in it. It has the 2-inch blinds with the screens, and then you get to go outside. And this is, I think, one of the really cool parts of the house.
Yep. Everyone wants outdoor space, and this one has both outdoor seating and outdoor grilling. One of the things that you'll notice is that they've done a really good job with the vegetation, so that even if you're not outside but you're inside looking, it has a really warm feel to it, and it adds a lot of texture and depth to this home. The outdoor is never complete without a water feature, just to give you that spa, soft, relaxing noise in the background as well. So this is a wonderful unit on the market at 9106 La Strada Court. It's a 3-bedroom, 4-bath, 2-car garage built in 2000, and it is just over 3,800 square feet, which is $749.50. And that is brought to us by Paige and Curtis Elliott. So thank you so much for allowing us to highlight your home.
Thank you very, very much. Two really great homes.
Amazing homes, completely different, but yet very great because they're similar in the fact that they're in excellent areas and they're also gated, and they both have those 2-car garages everybody wants.
And the links are in the comments below. So if you'd like to see the home on La Strada, please reach out to us. We'd love to make that happen for you. And we will be right back after this. There are lots of ways to keep up with us. Visit and like our Facebook page to watch us live and get updates about future show topics. Also, visit our Instagram account where you can see the latest homes we have for sale. You can also check out our website at updikepugh.com where you can create customized searches of active and sold homes that you may find of interest. If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, visit homeprice.fyi and you can get a price instantly. Just enter your address and a couple of other pieces of information and we will email you a price. If you are on the go and podcasts are better for you, our second segments are available on iTunes and Spotify. Last of all, you can reach out to us by phone or text at 214-377-2223. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the second segment, episode 131 of Sold with Updike Pugh. And today we're going to talk about the 4 things that homeowners should do in the month of May.
Well, we've whittled it down. There's actually a lot.
There's a lot more to do, yeah, but
but this is only about a 10 to 15 minute segment. So
we don't want to
let's not get
overwhelm
crazy.
you, so we've narrowed it down to 4.
And I think it's so important because, you know, as we all experienced back in February with the freeze, there was a lot of immediate elements that we saw that were broken and damaged and had to require immediate attention. But there's also elements that are just now coming out that we're using that we really want to swing back through and make sure that they're still working. And so one of the first things that we want to talk about is actually getting out there and taking an exterior look of the house and a detailed look to the point where you almost need a flashlight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, get out and do a really good, thorough exterior inspection on your house.
And the other thing too, so when you're inspecting things, I think our eyes get accustomed and we glaze over things because we've seen them over and over again. And so this is almost a point where you need to take someone else with you and look at it with them, because I used to do an inspection at a meatpacking plant in my previous life, and that was one of the things that we had to do every morning, and you could get to the point where you would just glaze over something. With the flashlight, it brings a lot more to the table, especially when you're looking under eaves, at the top of the roof pitch, when you're looking at soffits. These are elements that you really want to look for and make sure that you don't have the beginning of damage that could really become a problem later, both because of water penetration, but also because of pests.
Absolutely. They're, over the course of time, houses move, houses shift a bit, and this is a really good time for you to be able to find all of those places that pests can get in. Michael Bosco was telling us that a mouse can get into a hole the size of a quarter.
And that does not make me happy.
Yeah.
Those little boogers, I cannot stand them. And this is the time when they're actually moving around. This is when they're looking for that place where they're going to have their babies. So get ahead of it. And it's also interesting too, because this is when we want to talk about the vegetation, because we've all seen the down branches that happened. But this is also when new growth begins to come out and it actually goes beyond where it should be maintained. And I think you had a very interesting episode just 3 weeks ago at your house.
I had carpenter ants, and I called the Safe Haven Pest Control, Michael Bosco's company, and asked them to come out and treat for it. And the exterminator came out, and he determined that they were getting onto my roof because of a tree branch for the neighbor's tree was touching my roof. And he said that carpenter ants are the most opportunistic insects out there. And so they'd apparently come off this tree, stepped right down onto my roof, went over to where I have a metal roof, but it was where one of the penetrations come through, and they had gotten in under that and just started eating away right there at my roof.
And how did you realize they were there?
Well, I saw that really fine white dust, and it's a lot of it that gets generated
In a short amount of time.
Yeah, in a very short amount of time. So they were eating away at my roof. So
good thing you caught that. And the other thing too is because we are in the springtime, Texas has different termites than what you would say the Florida has.
Yes.
And so they do come up, and a lot of times they do come up through vegetation and begin that spawning. And so these are elements when you need to walk around and make sure, as Jeff said, nothing is touching that roof line, because it just takes that one point of contact, and then your house can be invaded.
Yes, so that's the
Not to scare y'all, but I mean, pay attention.
You're gonna be taken over. Anyway, next thing that we recommend that you do in the month of May is inspect your sprinkler system. This is the point of the year where you're going to begin using it more and on a regular basis. And over time, sprinkler heads turn. Over time, sprinkler heads get broken. Most of the time, your sprinkler system is going off at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and you don't really see it operate. And so it's a really good time to get out there and run it through every zone. Go out and look at, make sure there's no broken heads. Make sure you don't have any mud places that are coming up where you might have an underground pipe that was broken. And make sure that your heads are pointed correctly on it, because you can ruin a fence, you can ruin brick, I mean, if it's spraying directly on something that you want it it is not a good thing. It needs to just be going on the yard.
Yep, and it's a two-man job. You know, we have actually hired after we did that zoning, we actually hired a sprinkler repairman to come out and take a look at several of the heads. And at one point he said, "You have enough sprinkler heads out here to water a football field." So that was great because we were able to edit that down, and now we're not. The other thing too is that Jeff turned me on to a sprinkler system that is actually was $109 at Home Depot. And
it's called a Beehive.
The Beehive. It was easy to install, but what I like the most about it is that each one of the zones, it wants to know what type of vegetation, and then it also asks you what type of water this vegetation likes. And so it's smart enough to know what's lawn, what's shrubs, what's a cactus garden that doesn't need that much. And then it also helps you plot. One of the other things that I loved about this little thing is that it doesn't have just a rain sensor, but it connects to the Wi-Fi, and it knows when you've just had rain and not to rain and not to sprinkle. I thought it was a great.
Yeah.
I've loved it. It makes me nervous, but I love it.
Yeah, I think it's a really great system, and I've been very happy with mine. I have two different controllers on my sprinkler system, and I had used the Beehive on one for about a year and just fell in love with it. And then that was when I went in and bought the second one for the other area. Yeah. And I love being able to manage that right there from your app.
Yep. And it's also on the phone. So there's a lot of 1-2, you can test them quickly. That also makes it a lot easier to test, because if you know which zone you're standing in, you can do an immediate test while you're there and make sure that head is good.
Yep.
Again, get out there and do this. Save yourself some money. Save yourself some headache. Get these things done now while it's 67 degrees versus 105 in the summer.
Yes.
That's the way I
And that actually rolls right into our next thing that you should be doing at this point in the year, and it's testing your air conditioning system. The spring is a really good time to have your HVAC company come out and just do a seasonal service on it. You know, always make sure you replace your filters, but make sure the system's running at its peak. And as you said, you know, if you wait until it gets 90 degrees and then you realize, hey, my EC's not cooling very well, right, you're going to be on a long wait list of people to get out there to come and repair it. So,
and I would go ahead and say that as we all have experienced this, the gaps in certain supply chains and how things can become expensive. Taking, for instance, gasoline. Don't let this happen to the HVAC filters, and go ahead and go out there and buy those while they're still there. One of the things that I thought was the most interesting I'd ever heard is to actually write the month that each one of those belongs in, so that you can keep track of, did I change it or did I not change it? So when you walk into your closet, you know that today is May, you know that June is when you need to replace that one. So it keeps things really simple and real easy.
So what happens if you get a month off?
You're screwed. I'm just kidding.
You just got to throw it away. I don't want to
Scratch
throw
out
the
the thing.
system off, man.
Go to last month, right on the next one. There you go. No, just kidding. And last but not least, we want to talk about windows and doors. So windows and doors are one of those things. We can talk about the efficiency that they provide energy-wise, sound and noise, but then they also keep out the hot air out and the cool air in, but they also keep the bugs and little vermins out.
Yes. And, you know, a lot of double pane windows that were put in the 70s and the 80s, they're kind of now toward the end of their life, and they
absolutely
lose that vacuum between the two. If you bought a fancy one that had argon gas, that's all gone now. But, you know, look at those and make a plan for replacing those, because, and especially if you have single pane windows, double pane windows are a tremendous investment in your home.
Huge.
Not just from a I'll get my money back point of view, but from the, as long as you live there, you're going to be saving so much more money in energy use.
Heating, cooling, noise, all of those things. And the other thing too is that people see that fog or that condensation in between the two glasses a lot of times, and they don't know what to do. It's really simple. It is a window pane that gets replaced. So these are things that you can do if it's not damaged or any other thing has gone wrong with it, to help maintain your house. It's such a great thing to do.
Yeah,
it's so simple.
It really is. So I hope that you found those 4 things helpful. If you want to see the full list, we'd be happy to share all that with you and talk through, just normal home ownership maintenance. And is there anything else you'd like to add today?
Just remember, we want to be realtors for life.